Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful week last week. And this week is just going to be even better. So, do you guys remember when you were growing up about the superheroes? So, Batman, Superman. I remember going to the old drive-in to watch Batman. And this was like such an event for us. First of all, because it was at the drive-in. And second of all, here was Batman and he was going to defeat the villain. And it was such an awesome memory, if I can say that as a child. And often when I go to my superheroes, I always go to Batman, which is kind of obvious because there was this big event around going to watch him, if I can put it to you like that. Anyway, this past week we've had quite a few discussions about this and about the victory. And I was listening to a couple of sermons about it and just, going deeper with the Lord with this topic. And it was so interesting because the one guy said, you cannot have a battle without having a victory. And I thought about that, like, really, that was such a good thing to say. You think about the whole battle between David and Goliath. You know that this is one of my favorite stories. But it was a battle. Even though that David went and defeated him with ease, there was still a battle that happened in order for the victory. And I think that that is exactly what happens in our own lives, is that you get to either that hero point where the hero is almost dead, like you're screaming from your chair, like get up, you can do this. And then obviously he goes and has the victory. And it was the same with David and Goliath. And I think that the moments in our lives where we found ourselves being that hero, being right there, so close to the end, one, that's when we need our community. So thank you for all of you guys. And two, that's when we are about to win. Another guy said it so nicely. He said, it's actually boring. And I looked at him and I was like listening. I'm like, what do you mean this is boring? He's like, the story is boring. We know we're going to win. And I sat there and I thought to myself, what are you talking about? And he started referencing all of the stuff in the Bible where the victory is already ours. The strength is already given to us. The courage, the wisdom, the everything, it's actually already been given. All we have to do is take it, use it, and be victorious. They talk about putting on your armor. They talk about how God has gone before you. I mean, I can just reference this over and over and over. But the point that I'm trying to make here is, first of all, don't do this without God. No matter what, don't do this without God. Look, He's always with you, but take Him with you. Take Him into your heart. Take Him into your being. Take Him into every single moment. When you are standing there facing your giant, stand there and go, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do now? Stop for that minute and just say, Lord, what do you want me to do? We don't have to react immediately. We don't have to give an answer straight away. Those WhatsApps that keep pouring in, you don't have to answer them right now, immediately. All the emails, all the phone calls, do them in your own time when you are ready. Remember, God also says it's His timing, not ours. So if you're faced with this moment where you think, oh, I'm just going to go and react and no, that's your timing. That's out of your will. That's not out of His will. And this again comes down to that stop and pause. I know that this is hard. Our human emotions get in the way all the time. They really, really do. But this is a lesson that all of us need to learn. And all of us need to really harness and rein in on it. So, that moment, just stop, pause, and invite God into the situation. Even if you're going into something before, a big business deal, a meeting, something with the school, something with the church, something with your family, whatever it is, just before you go into it, ask God, come with me. Ask God, please give me the wisdom, the words. What do you want me to say? And the victory is already yours. But in that moment, it's really hard to do the stop and pause because of our humanness. So, Claire, maybe you can just give us a bit of advice there on how to handle that instant moment or the moment of when you feel completely defeated and like, let me just throw in the towel.
Mm. Two things that come to mind here. And this is something that if you look at a growth journey, right, there's something in the beginning of a growth journey that is more like we become sponges and we just suck in the information, and it's like a theory phase. We just suck it all in, all right. But you have to get to a point where you start the practical phase, if I can put it that way. You have to start embodying it, all right. So what I would suggest is if you take this advice is instead of just listening and going, oh, I must remember to do it then when, what we can do is we can start practicing it now all the time. So when that moment comes, that it's so much easier to implement. So you've all seen a baby breathe, right? If you look at a baby when they breathe with their little tummies expand. Have you seen it? So if they take a breath in with their nose, so I want you to try it now. So if you take a breath in with your nose, I want you to expand your tummy out, like push your tummy out, okay? And then when you blow out, open your mouth. Ah, you can say and there's a reason for that because we're stimulating a vagus nerve, and that puts us into a parasympathetic state. Okay, so instead of us reacting from a sympathetic state, we breathe in with our nose, extend the belly, and now as you exhale, you pull your tummy in towards your spine. Okay, now that breath is going to help you to put you in a parasympathetic state. If you breathe like that, 4 to 10 breaths slowly in and out, in and out, in and out, like that, you are going to go into a parasympathetic state, which means you're going to go out of your rational mind in irrational or emotional mind into a rational mind, excuse me. And then from that point, that's when you can, because otherwise you will just react to the text. You would just like fly off the handlebars. You would just say or do whatever, or your mind just takes control and off you go into the rabbit hole again. So what you do is if you do this and really try the breath work and start practicing every minute you have, put an alarm clock on your phone like every hour. Learn to breathe now, because when the moment comes and you do it and you get into the calm state, now when you're in a calm rational state, now this is the time. You invite God in and you say, where to from here? You see? Because now when you're in this calmness, his presence doesn't feel like it's so far away. It feels like it's right here. Now I can hear it. Whereas from emotional, it feels like there's a mountain between us. I can't hear. It's like, you've ever been in that state? It's like, where are you, God? I can't hear you. It's the emotional state. So to get back in that. And secondly, to this, and this is a big one, I want you to go back and practice this breathing a lot, right? Secondly, to this is instead of just having a vision board, have a win board next to it. Every time you have a victory and a small win, put it up there. So in the day that you feel like you are not winning this battle, go and remind yourself of all the victories you've had. Go and remind yourself, or write it in a book if you don't want to have it up there. I like to have what I call a win board. And then every now and again, when I'm feeling a little bit down, I'll just go and remind myself, see, this is when God was there. See, this is what happened. See, this is how it worked out. Um, because your mind will delete a lot of actually what's going on when you're in an emotional state. So you have to remind it again. So you say, no, calm it down, remind it. You see, here you go. This is all the blessings and all the times I've won. And now you can even step it up. And now you bring God into the equation. You cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong, which is, I hope, going to be helpful. And you said something about, say that again. You said something about the victory and the battle. You said, I can't, how did you say it? You said you can't have a victory without the battle,
Oh,
is it?
yeah, you can't have a victory without a fight or without a battle. Exactly. Like
Okay,
you can't actually have a win without having
okay.
to go
And
there.
it goes
You
the
can't
other way
witness this.
too. It goes the other way too. You can't have a victory without the battle. You can't have a battle without the victory. And
Mm.
that's the whole point. And I think sometimes we're like, oh, I just need a victory. I just need a victory. I just need a victory. But you need to go through the battle. Or other way around. Like, I've had the victory, you had to go through the battle. You can't have a victory without a battle. So the two go hand in hand. It's called the polar opposite effect, the law of polar effect, okay? That you have to have real pain for you to experience real bliss. You have to have real heartache to experience real love. You have to be really sick to experience phenomenal health. You, does that help?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There were two things that you said. One about the breathing. I mean, the Lord is the breath of life. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like with such a moment, it's like, why should we breathe? Well, the Lord is the breath of life. So that's actually why we need to stop and breathe as well. And then goodness, oh, the victory board. We don't realize every day, and I know you guys are going to be like every day, every single day, we actually have a victory. We don't realize it because we get stuck in just the battle and we forget about the victory. So I love the victory board or a victory jar, victory book, whatever you want to call it. But just to actually have it, I want to say documented or recorded and to be able to go back and read it, you will see how many battles you've actually fought, how many you've won, and how many you've been victorious, like in your soul, spirit, and your mind. So that is a big, big, big like recommendation. Guys, do this. It helps a lot.
Mm. There's one more thing I want to leave you with. The first thing you come into life with is your breath. The last thing that leaves is your breath. Your breath is everything. If you can
Yeah.
control your breath, you can control your emotions, you can control your life.
Yep. Absolutely. No, really, like absolutely. So, another topic I just want to touch on before we go into prayer. For those of you who haven't seen, I've started the prayer healing garden. So basically, it's a veggie garden here by me. And what we're doing is that we are wrapping your prayer in a seed. So, for instance, let's say Claire needs prayer for her car. So then we're going to have Claire. She needs prayer for her car. It gets wrapped in a seed and planted. And all the food that is grown goes to a school here in Rustenburg that is absolutely phenomenal, but there's subsidies to feed all these children is absolutely terrible. So then all the food goes and gets donated to them. So we are doing this prayer, healing, faith, feeding our souls, feeding the community, feeding everybody. So if you know of somebody who needs prayer or you yourself does, please drop me a message. And let's really get that garden going as well. And let's get growth happening everywhere. So with that, let's bow our heads and pray for the week ahead. Dear Lord Jesus, thank you for the opportunity not only to meet you every Monday, but to meet you at any time when we feel like we are on that battlefield, that we know that we can stop, breathe you into us, feel you, experience you on every single level, and know that you are there. We can stop and receive the message and receive the wisdom. And if we don't get it instantly, we can wait. We can wait on your timing because it is always perfect. We can know that you have gone before us. We can trust in that and we can pull on your strength, your wisdom, your understanding, your kindness, your patience, your everything in the moments that we need it. For everybody who is in the battle and feels like they are right at the end, please hang in there. You have got this. The victory is yours. The story has already been told. And for all of those who are already victorious, celebrate that win. Celebrate it with yourself, with your friends, and ultimately with God, because He was there every step of the way with you. I pray for everybody this week. May the Lord go with you, keep you safe and protective, and only shower you with blessings. And this I pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I hope everyone has a super blessed week, and we'll see you next week.